All right, so just like any typical day, I'm going to have you start off with your bell ringer. All right, so everyone has completed their bell ringers. So at this time, we're now going to keep working on the graphic organizer that we were focusing on with raising smart kids. Okay, so how you can access your organizer is by coming to your Google Drive, clicking on recent, and then you should be able to see your elements of an argument that you're working on. You should be able to see the secret to raising kids, and you should also be able to see your virtual notebook. Okay? If not, then if you click on our Google Classroom, just go to your classwork and click on elements of an argument worksheet. And then you should be able to see both of those assignments. You should be able to see the PDF that you were annotating, and you should be able to see the elements of an argument that we were working on. Okay? Once you click on it, you should have completed your 3 examples that you and your group were reading about last class. Today, you guys are going to focus on the concession and rebuttal of your sections. Okay? So the concession, just in case you forgot, is where you look for how the author acknowledges the opposing view, okay, the opposite view of what they're going to be expressing in your section. You're also going to look for the rebuttal, which is where they argue pretty much not that much, but just in short, how their side is still valid and correct. Okay? So I'll give you guys an example. So I'm going to focus on the one that I was doing, which was page 1. It was where we found our claim. It was where we found our claim, and where we were able to drive our evidence, our appeals, and our reasoning. Okay. So on page 1, I'm going to kind of duplicate a few things so you guys can see what a concession or rebuttal is, as well as what a counter argument is. Okay. So over here, what I did was I created purple to kind of signify where my concession was going to be. And how I did that, let's go back. Okay, so what I did was I clicked text box and scroll up. So y'all's has this right here. So all I did was create a text box, and I click it. I then come up here where it looks like a little waterfall or paint dropping, and I click background color, and I changed it to white. That way I'm able to see inside of my box, opposed to looking at that copyright stuff. Okay? And then I'm going to overlay my concession / rebuttal in purple. And then my new colors, purple. Now you got it. Oh, sorry. Here it is. Okay, so I'm gonna click the highlighter tool, and I'm gonna come over and I'm gonna highlight it purple. Okay, and then I'm gonna come over here for my counter argument, and I'm gonna highlight it orange. That way, Miss Williams knows what colors I'm using for which part. Okay, so purple is going to be my concession. My counter argument is going to be orange. All right, so I'm going to click my markup tool, and I want to make sure that I have that color orange and that color purple. So if you just click on more colors, you can actually create more colors for your So I want to add that dark purple color. So I'm going to choose dark purple. I'm going to save it. All right, and so now I'm going to go look for the concession. Okay, now throughout the entire text, she was basically recapping. She was talking about Jonathan and how his parents praised him for being smart early on, making all A's. Well, as he got older, he stopped caring about school. Grades started to go downhill, and his parents were still trying to motivate him. Okay, what we learned is that our society worships our talents, and many people assume that possessing that really good intelligence or ability, along with being confident in it, is a recipe for success. Well, Carol shut that down and basically said that praising your kids for those abilities doesn't create a mindset that can push or make it through everyday life. Okay? Right here, I'm going to click my box. I'm going to click purple. This line right here is going to be my concession / rebuttal. Okay? She specifically says that parents like Jonathan's who reinforce this mindset can prevent their children from, or even young athletes or people in our workforce, from living up to their full potential. Okay? This is her concession. This is her alternate view. She talked about it. She expressed how people who think like this are wrong. All right? Then, as Jocelyn from my fourth period had stated yesterday, she was like, well, I see the words on the other hand, so that should be a sign of an opposing view, etc. And Jocelyn, you are absolutely correct. Okay? So now we're into our counter argument. So I'm going to click my orange, and I'm going to hover over my counter argument. The counter argument now shuts down people like Jonathan's parents, and then we come back and explain why we're right. All right, and so she says, teaching people to have a growth mindset, which encourages a focus on effort rather than on intelligence or talent, helps make them into high achievers in school and in life. She also brought up the fact that it was a study, so she knows that she's correct. She knows that any parents who treat their children like this, their kids are going to be high achievers in school and in life. All right, so I was able to look at the concession and rebuttal as well as the counter argument from my section. You guys are now going to go to your sections. So if you focus on the opportunity of defeat, last class, you're going to go look for the concession, rebuttal, and counter argument in your section and your section only. I'm going to skip because I had got some of those. If you did 2 views of intelligence, you're now going to focus on looking for the concession, rebuttal, and counter argument of your section, and so on. Okay? Whenever you find your concession and rebuttal, I want you to type it into your box. You can just give me the line numbers, or you can type out the entirety of the concession and rebuttal. I want you to come to the right side and explain to me, how does that concession and rebuttal, how does it make her argument better? How does it strengthen her argument? Okay? You're then going to come to the counter argument section, and you're going to do the same thing. Tell me the line numbers of her counter argument, and then tell me, how does her counter argument support or enhance her argument? You're going to leave the call to action blank. All right, we're not going to have time to do that one. But what I do want you to do is identify the audience. If you are able to tell me who was this article written for, you will get an extra 10 points on your assignment. If you are able to identify the call to action without my help, then you will receive an extra 25 points, and you can use that towards any assignment in the future. Okay? As soon as you're done filling in all of your boxes, okay, You're then going to go back to your Google Classroom and you're going to turn it in. Make sure that when you turn in your assignment that you have completed both. So I'm able to see your CAMI and I'm able to see your elements of an argument graphic organizer. If you can't find the PDF version where you were creating your annotations, you could probably go back to your drive and look for the section that talks about CAMI. Y'all's computer says CAMI on it. So if you go here, you'll look for a section that has a folder that has CAMI on it, and you should be able to find it. Okay, once you turn it in, you are done. You've completed your assignments for this week. You are good to go. If you have any questions about what to do, you always feel free to either text me in Remind 101, or you can leave a class comment and I'll be happy to help you there as well. All right, good luck and stay out of this crazy weather and be safe.